Hello, dear YouTube viewers, I hope you're doing well. Okay, so let's start our video. The story begins inside a dimly lit apartment where Ethan and Maya sit together at the dinner table. The only sounds are the quiet clinks of plates and the faint hum of the refrigerator. The air between them feels heavier than silence itself. Once, this room had been filled with laughter, shared stories, and the music of togetherness, but now, all that remains is distance. Ethan tries to break the silence, forcing a smile as he asks softly, "Long day?" Maya simply nods, her eyes fixed on her plate, not on him. There's no anger in her face, just exhaustion, as if she's already said everything that needed to be said in her heart. Ethan's voice drifts in a voiceover. Sometimes, silence is the loudest sign of something ending. Moments later, the scene transitions into memories of when everything between them was different. The frame brightens, beach walks with waves crashing at their feet, both of them laughing as they chase the tide. A quick cut shows them dancing barefoot in the kitchen, spinning to an old song, their laughter echoing through the walls. Then a softer moment, painting the walls of their first apartment, leaving messy handprints and accidental splashes of color. They weren't perfect, but they were alive in their love. Ethan's memory carries his words, "You're the only constant in my chaos." Maya had smiled and replied with gentle sincerity, "Then don't let me fade." Those words hang in the air, a promise neither realized would be broken later. As time moves forward, the light begins to fade again. Ethan is now buried in his work. The sound of typing replaces laughter, his phone constantly buzzing with deadlines, client calls, and unfinished projects. His office chair becomes his second home. Maya spends her days alone, sketching by the window, scrolling through old photos, remembering the warmth that used to live inside that apartment. She plans date nights that end in disappointment. Ethan cancels, saying he's too tired, or something came up at work. Love turns into routine. Routine turns into silence. Ethan's narration overlays the growing emptiness. You don't lose someone all at once. You lose them moment by moment. Maya begins changing in quiet ways that Ethan doesn't fully see. Her laughter becomes rare, her replies shorter, her smiles forced. She starts taking evening walks alone, saying she needs fresh air. But really, she just needs space from the suffocating silence. Ethan notices the difference, but he convinces himself that it's temporary, that she'll come back around if he just works a little harder to secure their future. He mistakes distance for patience, not realizing that love is slipping away. Then one night, while walking past her phone left on the couch, he sees the screen light up. A message appears. "You deserve better." The sender's name is saved simply as L. A rush of confusion and dread hits him, but he doesn't say anything. He stares at the message, his chest tightening, wondering if this is the moment everything changes. He could ask her, but fear holds him back. Fear of confirming what he already suspects, that he's no longer the one she turns to. That night, he lies awake beside her. She's facing the other way, breathing softly in her sleep. Ethan stares at the ceiling, his thoughts heavy. He wants to ask who Elle is, what better means, but instead, he stays quiet. He chooses denial over confrontation, believing that love can somehow fix itself if he just pretends everything is fine. Days pass, but the silence grows louder. Maya, meanwhile, has already begun detaching herself from the life they built. It starts small. She packs her sketchbooks into a box, removes her framed paintings from the living room wall, and carefully folds her favorite blanket. She takes down the Polaroids of them smiling by the beach, one by one. Ethan doesn't notice the gradual emptiness of the home. He's too distracted, too late. The story quietly hints that she's preparing to leave, not in anger, but in resignation. Ethan doesn't see it coming. To him, everything still feels reparable. But to Maya, it's already over. She's simply waiting for the courage to walk away. The love that once set their world on fire has now cooled into ashes of routine. What's left between them is not hate, but absence, the kind of distance that grows even when two people share the same space. The audience can feel the storm building beneath the calm surface, knowing that the moment of truth is not far away. It is a rainy Friday evening, the kind that used to bring comfort to Ethan and Maya. Every week, this night meant warmth, the smell of pasta arrabbiata, laughter echoing from the kitchen, and the quiet kind of love that made an ordinary home feel alive. But tonight is different. The kitchen is dark and silent, the table untouched. Maya stands by the window, a small suitcase resting beside her. The raindrops sliding down the glass mirror the tears she's been holding back for weeks. Ethan enters the apartment, still on his phone, distracted by work, unaware of what's about to happen. He looks around, confused by the emptiness. "You didn't cook?" he asks casually. She turns slowly toward him, her expression calm but final. "Ethan," she says softly, "we need to talk." Her voice trembles, but her resolve is firm. Ethan senses something heavy in her tone. The phone slips from his hand as he stares at her. "What's wrong?" he asks, though deep down he already knows. Maya takes a slow breath. "I can't keep pretending everything's fine," she says. "You stopped looking at me the way you used to. You're here, but your heart isn't." Her words are sharp yet fragile, each one carrying the weight of 1,000 unsaid moments. She begins to list them: his missed birthday dinner, the time she waited for him late into the night, the moment she said, "I love you," just to hear silence in return. Ethan opens his mouth to speak, but nothing comes out. His excuses feel meaningless in front of her quiet pain. The air between them grows heavier. Then, out of helplessness, Ethan blurts, "So you found someone else to listen to you?" The accusation slips before he can stop it. Maya closes her eyes, shaking her head in disbelief. "No, Ethan," she replies softly. "I found someone who reminded me what being seen feels like." Her tone isn't angry, it's broken. It isn't about betrayal. It's about loneliness. She bends down, grabs the handle of her suitcase, and takes one last look around the room. Ethan's heart starts to race as realization hits him. The home that once held laughter is now a stranger's place. His voice cracks. "Please don't go like this." She hesitates for just a moment, her back still turned. "You already lost me," she whispers, and begins walking toward the door. Ethan stands frozen, unable to move, his mind spinning. Then the reality of her leaving hits him like a wave. He collapses to his knees, tears spilling freely. The rain outside grows louder, as if echoing his grief. In flashes, memories flood his mind. The first time they met under the rain, their late-night conversations, their laughter while cooking dinner together. Every memory feels like a blade now. He reaches out, desperate to stop her, but the words refuse to form. All he can do is watch as she places her hand on the doorknob. The sound of the creaking door feels like the sound of his heart breaking. And then, in the midst of that silence, when everything feels lost, he finds his voice. Barely above a whisper, he says, "I remember us." The words float through the room, trembling but real. Maya freezes. The rain stops sounding for a second, or maybe she just stops hearing it. Slowly, she turns around, eyes wide, disbelief written across her face. "What?" she whispers, her voice shaking. Ethan looks up at her through tears. "I remember us," he repeats, his voice stronger this time. "I remember the way you used to hold my hand in the dark when I couldn't sleep. The songs we sang off-key in the car. The way you painted sunlight into this house. I forgot how to love you, but I never forgot us." Each word lands heavy, filled with remorse, with truth. Ethan takes a step toward her, his hands trembling. The sincerity in his voice is different this time. Not desperate, not rehearsed, just real. Maya's eyes soften. The suitcase slips from her hand, hitting the floor with a dull thud. She looks at him, her tears finally falling, but not from anger, from recognition, from being seen again. "Do you really?" she asks, her voice breaking. Ethan nods. "Every detail," he says. "Every version of you." For a long moment, neither of them speaks. The rain outside slows, as if giving them space to breathe. Then Maya steps forward, her voice barely above a whisper. "Then remember me right this time." It isn't a forgiveness. It's a challenge, an invitation to do better, to not forget again. She walks past him, back into the apartment. Not out of weakness, not because the pain vanished, but because somewhere deep inside, she still believes in what they were and what they might become again. Ethan closes the door gently, his heart pounding. The rain continues softly outside, but inside, for the first time in a long time, there is hope, fragile, trembling, but alive. The morning light filters gently through the curtains, painting soft patterns on the living room floor. Ethan stands in the kitchen, quietly brewing a cup of Maya's favorite coffee, the one with extra cream and a hint of cinnamon. The silence between them isn't cold anymore. It feels different, calmer, like a fragile truce. They sit together on the couch, side by side but still cautious, both unsure of how to begin again. There are no apologies exchanged, no rehearsed words of forgiveness, just the simple act of being there. After a long pause, Maya breaks the silence. Her voice is gentle, almost trembling. "I didn't stay because of what you said," she murmurs. "I stayed because I saw the man who meant it." Ethan looks at her, a faint smile forming. "Then let me prove him real," he replies softly. And in that moment, something begins to shift. Not instantly, not perfectly, but enough to start again. Days pass, and slowly, the rhythm of their lives begins to change. The distance that once filled the air starts to fade as they rediscover each other. A montage of moments unfolds, Ethan canceling a major work trip to spend a quiet weekend with her. The two of them driving down unfamiliar roads, windows rolled down, wind in their hair, laughing without reason. They stay in small roadside motels, sharing cheap takeout and long conversations under dim lamps. Maya begins to paint again. Her colors are brighter this time, less lonely. Ethan starts writing short, heartfelt notes, small messages he hides around the apartment. One morning, she finds one taped to her mirror. It reads simply, "For your smile." It's not grand gestures that heal them. It's these tiny acts of remembrance, the soft proof that love is being relearned, moment by moment. But rebuilding love means facing the things that broke it. Ethan begins therapy after realizing how much of himself he had lost trying to be someone who didn't need help. Through the sessions, he uncovers the truth behind his emotional distance, the years of silence following his father's death, the belief that strength meant never showing weakness. One evening, he opens up to Maya in a way he never has before. "I thought being strong meant being quiet," he says quietly, eyes lowered. "But I was just pushing you away." Maya listens, her eyes glistening. "All I ever wanted was you," she replies softly, her voice trembling. "Not your perfection." Her words cut deep, but heal at the same time. For the first time in a long while, Ethan feels seen, not as someone trying to hold everything together, but as someone finally learning how to let go. Still, change doesn't come without testing. One night, Ethan's phone rings with a late work call, an urgent issue that would normally pull him away without a second thought. He answers automatically, pacing across the room, while Maya watches quietly from the couch. She doesn't say anything, but her silence says enough. He pauses mid-sentence, torn between old habits and the promise he made to himself. There's a long silence on the line before he finally says, "I'll call you tomorrow," and hangs up. Turning toward Maya, he breathes deeply. "Work can wait," he says with a small, steady smile. "You can't." Maya's eyes soften as she walks toward him, wrapping her arms around his shoulders. Her whisper is warm against his ear. "That's all I ever needed." It's not the grand declaration of a changed man. It's a small victory, but one that means everything. A few weeks later, while organizing her art supplies, Maya finds something hidden beneath a stack of old sketchbooks, a folded letter sealed in a plain envelope. Her heart tightens as she realizes what it is. The letter she wrote months ago, the one she had planned to leave on the table the night she almost walked out. She hesitates, then opens it. The words stare back at her. "If you ever remember us, maybe you'll find me again." Her hands tremble as she reads it. The letter feels like a message from a different lifetime, one filled with pain, confusion, and longing. She walks into the living room and hands it to Ethan without saying a word. He reads it slowly, his eyes softening as he reaches the final line. Then he looks up at her with a smile. Gentle, knowing. "Looks like I finally did," he says, taking her hand in his. She smiles through her tears, and for the first time, both of them feel the quiet certainty that what was once broken isn't just repaired. It's rebuilt, stronger, deeper, and real. In that simple moment, surrounded by the same walls that once held their silence, they realize love isn't something you find again. It's something you choose to build every day. A full year has passed since that night, the night 3 simple words changed everything. The apartment, once dim and heavy with silence, now glows with warmth. Laughter echoes off the walls, music hums softly from the speaker, and the smell of something cooking fills the air. The space feels alive again, not because it's new, but because they are. Ethan is setting the table, carefully placing candles beside their plates. He hums under his breath, glancing toward the kitchen where Maya is dancing slowly while stirring sauce, wearing his old shirt like she used to. There's a gentle ease between them now, a kind of comfort that comes only after surviving a storm together. As the evening light fades into golden warmth, Maya joins him at the table. He smiles, pulling a small velvet box from his pocket. "What's this?" she asks playfully, but there's curiosity in her eyes. "Just something small," he says, handing it to her. She opens it slowly, and inside lies a delicate silver bracelet. The engraving catches the candlelight, 3 simple words. "I remember us." For a moment, she doesn't speak. Her eyes fill with tears, not from sadness, but from the overwhelming beauty of what those words have come to mean. "You kept them alive," she whispers. Ethan reaches across the table, taking her hand gently. His smile is soft, full of gratitude. "They kept me alive," he replies. The camera lingers on their joined hands, then transitions to a quiet montage. The two of them cooking together, her laughter spilling across the room, their unfinished paintings hanging proudly on the wall. Every frame feels like a promise fulfilled, every smile a reminder of how far they've come. The home that once held silence now holds a story, not of perfection, but of persistence, of 2 people who chose to stay and rebuild. Ethan's voice fades in over the scene, calm and reflective. "Sometimes love doesn't end in betrayal," he says softly. "Sometimes it ends in silence, until someone dares to speak." The screen shows glimpses of their past, the night of rain, the open suitcase, the tears. "Those 3 words didn't just make her stay," his voice continues. "They made me stay too. Not in the past, but in the moment where love truly lives." His narration drifts into quiet music as the image returns to the present. Maya stands and extends her hand toward him. "Dance with me?" she asks, smiling. Ethan nods, pulling her close. They move slowly across the living room, swaying to a song that only they can hear. Outside, the rain begins again, tapping softly against the window, a familiar sound, once associated with heartbreak, now transformed into something peaceful. The camera slowly pans out, framing them as 2 silhouettes beneath warm, flickering light, moving in perfect sync. Their bodies speak what words no longer need to, that love, once remembered, never truly fades. As the music softens, the screen fades to black. Text appears, simple and profound. The best words aren't, "I love you." Sometimes they're, "I remember us." And with that final line, the story closes, not with a grand gesture or a perfect ending, but with the quiet power of remembrance, the kind that turns brokenness into forever. Thanks for watching. For more videos, please subscribe our channel. Awesome Visual Story.